Hey everybody, how's it going? As the current round 2 of Season 2, is coming to an end, we got one final limited series to run through here, and it is one that features a new car, Nissan Z. So the car itself is worth some, 275 gold if you're to buy it outright. Or with a showcase discount, you can get it for 220 gold. But this is an opportunity to win it by running through this series, limited series, the usual 15 tier, 45 trophy events, right? Then you would, of course, have to meet the PR requirement, which in order to complete this event, you need to reach the PR of 36.8. And that is, yeah, you can get there by getting 3 upgrades across the board. And for this car, it's going to cost you 160 gold and some 500,900 racing dollars. So even if you're starting the game, if you're still fairly new into the game, this is a car that you should be able to afford, I feel like. And For the effort, of course, you get to win the car, as I said, which is worth some 275 gold if you're to buy it outright. Plus, of course, the victory points, which can be converted into essentially more rewards from the roundup rewards. So depending on where you are in your, actually, with a 5,250, you're guaranteed at least one of the gold reward tier. So even though the series itself pays out 35 gold, you're guaranteed to win more than that. So that's a nice bonus. And 100,000 racing dollars if you're in a situation where you have to keep track of that as well. So those are the rewards. All right, so let's hop in. So you have 7 days to complete it once you press that Start Now button. But upon winning the first trophy, you are given 3 hours of instant service and instant upgrade offer. So as always with these events, don't start upgrading right away. Complete a event, then you will be able to get your upgrades much quicker. This car's upgrades don't take that long. Like stage 1 upgrades are 1 hour each. And then stage 3 racing dollar upgrades are like 4 hours. And then stage 5, the final tier upgrades. You don't need to go that far, obviously, just to win this car. But if you were to get them, that the last stage racing dollar upgrades are like 12 hours. So it's, yeah, not as expensive or extensive in terms of upgrade time or upgrade cost. But anyway, let's check out what we got for the series. Nissan Z Limited Series, earn a 2023 Nissan Z by 100% completing this special limited series. Where past meets the future, the Nissan Z features a fresh yet retro exterior design which seeks to pay homage to its strong lineage. Oh yeah, so all right, cool stuff. And let's take a look at the breakdown of rewards into 25% completion increments. So first 25% completion, which you will need to complete the tier 4 to reach. That will pay you 750 victory points, whopping 2 gold and 10,000 racing dollars, and that will require PR 26.8, which is 0.2 PR point higher than what you can do with racing dollar upgrades alone. So even though it's only 2 gold, there ain't no free gold in this series, which is fairly typical once again. And then 50% completion rewards you additional 1,000 victory points, 5 gold, and 15,000 racing dollars. And that, of course, you need to complete or win 23 gold trophies, which you'll reach by winning 2 gold trophies in tier 8. So you don't need to complete the tier 8, but if you're that far, you might as well go all the way, right? So tier 7 completion is what's required to claim this. And that is going to require PR 29.6. And the 75 completion reward. Includes 1,500 additional victory points, 8 additional gold, and 25,000 racing dollars. And in order to claim that, you would need to win a single gold trophy in tier 12. So you need to wrap up tier 11, which requires PR 33.1. And then, of course, final 100% completion, you need PR 36.8, which we will confirm in a second. And for that, you get to win, of course, the grand prize, the car itself, and 2,000 victory points, 20 gold, and the remaining 50,000 racing dollars. So giving you the total rewards of the 5,250 victory points, 35 gold total, and $100,000 racing dollars total. Right. So that's that. And yeah, 15 tiers. And let's spend gold to complete it right away. Pretend we won the car already, and we'll just quickly just verify some numbers here. So Nissan Z, or Nissan Z, as those across the pond would call it. All right. As you can see, 3-hour instant service, right? And instant upgrades. So let's confirm the final tier. Tier 15. The cup is at the Brickyard Road Course 7-lapper cup. PR 36.8. Base PR 21.5, as you can see. And if you get here, so we'll get the tier 1 upgrades first here, which is the racing dollar upgrades before you spend any gold on upgrading this car. And that's going to cost you total of some 154,100 racing dollars. So as I said, not the most expensive, one of the more affordable cars, right? So there we go, and that brings your PR up to 26.6, right? And then I don't know if you guys caught it, the stage 2 upgrades are all gold. So this is where we're gonna be spending that 160 gold, right? So 28 for engine, 26 for drivetrain, and body's usually a little cheaper, 20 in this case. Suspension 24, exhaust very similar to suspension, but in this car it's slightly less, 22. Brakes by far the cheapest, 18 gold. And then tires and wheels, 22 gold, kind of middle of the road in terms of cost. So that brings your PR up to 31.7. Yeah, still not quite 36.8, but that's where the, of course, stage 3 upgrades come in handy. So we have to get 3 upgrades across the board. So here we go. And exhaust, brakes, which, by the way, exhaust and brakes, there are only 3 stages of upgrades available on this car, so you're essentially maxing out those 2 categories. So there you go, 3 upgrades across the board, right on 36.8 to meet the PR requirement. Right, so now this car, once you win this car, of course, there is a bonus series the car's featured in under Road Collection Season 2 heading or subheading called Generation Z, that features a couple of other Nissans from prior generation of Z cars, right? So we got the Nissan 300ZX, Z32, and Nissan 370Z, the Z34, and then this car. So it's going to be a 3-car bonus series that you get to take this car out for a spin upon winning this car. And for that bonus series completion, it does have a slightly higher PR requirement of 39.8. And the cheapest way to get, and this is the only car that can reach that PR anywhere near, by the way. The other older Nissans just don't come anywhere near PR 30s. So in order to reach that bonus series PR of 39.8, you're gonna essentially have to spend additional like 150 gold, 154 to be exact, and that you're gonna spend on engine, You have to basically engine, like these upgrades, engine and body, they got 2 more upgrades, meaning 1 gold, 1 racing dollars. So they even though the gold upgrade for engine stage 4 upgrade is a little bit pricier, you get essentially 2, additional upgrade, the final stage 5 racing dollar upgrade, because racing dollar is pretty easy to come by, right? And then drivetrain, we can leave it alone. And we max out body, where we spent additional 46 gold, and that also unlocks that stage 5 racing dollar upgrade, which is basically meaning we're getting every racing dollar upgrades available on this car. So that is gonna cost you 734,800 racing dollars. So that is what, like maybe 230,000 racing dollars more than PR required to win this car, right? And then so that gets you up to PR 39.4, which is just the 0.4 PR point shy, right? So we do need to get one more upgrade, and that is the cheapest one. That is tires and wheels, and that gets us up to 40.1 for additional 48 gold. But that's how it works out. So we're not gonna reach exactly 39.8, but this is still, I mean, we're going a little bit above, but that is still gonna be the cheapest way in terms of gold you spend to meet the PR requirement for the bonus series. And since they have already announced the next version of the game, version 11, they are gonna have an exclusive series for this car, which means you have to fully upgrade this car. So then you need to max out all the upgrades. So drivetrain, you're gonna have to spend another 55 gold, and suspension, you'd have to spend another 50 gold. So we're talking additional like 105 gold that you have to spend after meeting the PR requirement for the bonus series. But in the grand scheme of things, for the way the things cost in the game currently, that's not too bad. So that's those are some numbers for you guys, for those number crunchers. And yeah, so now let's just have a look at the series itself. There are lots of short to medium circuit cup races in this series with a high lap count, just to give you give you guys heads up. So that's sort of a running theme. So look for that. But anyway, in order to run through all 15 tiers, you should be able to do it within first 3 hours if you just like run straight through. But when I make these videos, generally I do take breaks. 3 hours of just playing a game is a bit much for my old body. So I will most likely be completing some of the series after the 3-hour instant service offer has expired, which means I would have to either use one of those instant service rewards on completing this, or just take my time. 7 days is plenty of time still. I mean, even with taking my time, I feel like I should be able to get through at least first like 11, 12 tiers within first 3 hours. So the bigger challenge is finding that block of 3 hours where I can play, right? So anyway, let's take a look at the series itself. All right, so tier 1, start off with the autocross at Catalonia National, followed by Speed Snap at Porsche Test Track Dynamic Circuit. And that's usually a fairly easy speed snap. And the cup for tier 1 at Nürburgring Sprint Circuit, we're starting out with just a quick 2-lap cup. And of course, tier 1, there is no PR requirement. Heading on to tier 2, we got Hunter at Red Bull Ring Grand Prix Circuit. So that's a full lap. Not very large circuit, but still a full lap. And then we got head-to-head at Dubai Club Circuit, pretty short circuit. That's a fun little circuit. And head-to-head, as usual, just a single lapper. And the cup for tier 2, we're going to be at Circuit of the Americas Grand Prix circuit. So I know it's like, hey, you said it's going to be short circuit, many laps. Well, later on. This is just going to be a single lap Grand Prix circuit race. So it's not that long still, right? PR 24.3 required. So obviously you're going to need some of those racing dollar upgrades to get through tier 1 or tier 2. And tier 3, we get endurance at Melbourne. So your distance, target distance may vary depending on your margin of victory. So, you know, the more closer you are bot training, right, then you don't have to run as far. And if you're just blowing through your competition by huge margin of victory, then you may get some longer distance. But to be fair, they generally, the flag bot endurance distance generally cap out somewhere around like 10, 11 kilometers. I don't know if I've ever seen a flag bot endurance distance target longer than that. So yeah, and in limited series, you're not going to come across any TSM, so you don't have to worry about that. Anyway, then we got speed record at Daytona Road Course. So because it is a speed record, we don't get the rolling start. Anyway, and then the cup for tier 3, Mount Panorama, 2 laps, PR 25.7. So, still not the longest races, right? And moving on, tier 4, your 25% completion tier. You got drag race at the Brickyard Road Course. I still don't think it really matters where it takes place. Anyway, then we got elimination at Porsche Test Track, long on-road circuits. So, but it's elimination, so the venue doesn't really matter. You have to run for 2 minutes 40 seconds, right, to survive, right? And then the cup to get through tier 4 at Monza Junior course, quick 3 laps with a PR 26.8 required, so that's 0.2 PR point higher than what your racing dollar upgrades alone will give you. So yeah, so that's what I said earlier. All right, moving on, tier 5, we got Hunter at Nürburgring Sprint Circuit, followed by Speed Snap at Red Bull Ring National Circuit. And the cup to get through tier 5 takes place at Hockenheim National. It's going to be a 3-lap, kind of medium length, right? PR 27.8 required. So you notice the longer circuits are beginning to kind of take a back seat, and more of the, we got sprint circuit and national circuit now beginning to come in more here, right? Anyway, tier 6, autocross at Mount Panorama, head-to-head at Daytona Road Course, so that's a rolling start, a single lap. And then cup is going to be at Catalunya National Circuit with a 4 laps, PR 28.7 required. And moving on, tier 7, we get elimination once again. This one taking place at Dubai Hill Circuit. We got speed record at Silverstone National, so that's a lap, not terribly long. And then cup at the short on-road circuit of Porsche Test Track, 6 laps. So here we go, beginning to ramp up that lap count, right? PR 29.6 is required to get through this. So that's what's required to claim the 50% completion reward. Since you need 2 gold trophies in tier 8, which can come from winning Speed Snap at Austin's Circuit of the Americas Grand Prix circuit, and Hunter at Spa. So that's a full lap. And then continuing on past the 50% completion, you got to get through the cup, of course, taking place at Laguna Seca, 4 laps. So not a terribly large circuit, but we do 4 laps around it, and the PR requirement is 30.5. Moving on, tier 9, we got endurance at Nürburgring's tight Mühlenbachschleife, the circuit. And then we got head-to-head at Mount Panorama. Afternoon race, it's going to be a single lapper as usual. And the cup for tier 9 is going to be at Red Bull Ring, you guessed it, National Circuit, 7 laps. So there you have it. Very high lap count in a short circuit. PR 31.4 is what's required to get through that. Moving on to tier 10, we got speed record at Melbourne, so that's a full lap. Autocross at Indianapolis Motor Speedway road course, and followed by the Cup at Berlin. Formula E circuit, not a terribly long circuit, and we get 5 laps around with a PR requirement 32.2. Alright, tier 11, we got Hunter at Monza Junior course, so that's a quick lap. Endurance at Hockenheim National, and the Cup to get through tier 11, Silverstone, but the international circuit, not Grand Prix circuit, and we're gonna get 7 laps, so not a terribly large circuit once again, and we get 7 laps. PR requirement 33.1, which is what's required to claim that 75% completion reward by winning a gold trophy in tier 12. Can come from elimination, taking place at Catalunya National, or we could do speed snap at Bugatti circuit. All right, and continuing on, you need to wrap up tier 12, right? And in order to do that, you need to go through the Cup at Suzuka West, and we got 7 laps. As I was saying, high lap count, right? Not a very large circuit, but high lap count. PR 33.9 required for that. Tier 13, we got a drag race, another one. This one taking place at Dubai Grand Prix, which is fine, whatever. Autocross at Laguna Seca, and the Cup at Melbourne. So once again, not a very large circuit, but we get 6 laps around it. PR 34.8 required. Yeah, street circuits, I feel like it's maybe probably the more appropriate circuit for this cars like this one, right? Tier 14, we got head-to-head at Hockenheim Short, so that's a quick single lapper, followed by speed record at Porsche Test Track Short on-road circuit, and the Cup for tier 14 is going to be at Bugatti circuit. So once again, that's medium length circuit, but we get 6 laps, so that's a decent amount of laps, right? PR 35.8 required to get through that, and that gets us to the final tier. Tier 15. All right, we got Hunter at Silverstone International Circuit, and Speed Snap at Daytona Road Course, and the final Cup. I'd say this is probably the longest one. Kind of appropriate, right? Final race. Taking place at Indianapolis Motor Speedway, the Brickyard Road Course, and I know it's I would still consider this a medium length circuit. It's a little bit on the longer side of medium. And we also get 7 laps. So final Cup is gonna, take a little bit of time to run through. PR 36.8 is required. Just to recap, you would need to get 3 upgrades across the board, which is gonna cost you some 160 gold. And you get, 35 of it back. So the net cost of ownership of this car is gonna be, 125 gold. So and with that amount, you should be able to 75% complete the bonus series, at which point, what's the reward in this series? Total 49 gold, so 75% completion gets you 29 additional gold. So, you can bring down that net cost down to closer to like 100, right? So, yeah, not bad. And this car will most likely be featured in some weekly time trial at some point, maybe, Anyway, that'll do it for this limited series overview. So hopefully you guys found some useful information, and I'll be heading back in to actually do some racing and try to win this car. So stay tuned for that. But for now, that'll do it. So thanks for watching. Take care.